So that many people, different people use Bitcoin for different purposes. I would say today is not it's mainly as a entry coin, but also a global reserve for cryptocurrencies. Well, thanks for having me here first. And I think what happened last week is devastating to many of our users and to many of the community people. And it's also a big shock that's been sent through the system. So we've seen $80 billion combined between UST and Luna kind of disappear, implode. And it hurt, many people are hurt. So we're working very closely with project teams and other industry players to see how can we make the situation better. How can we help the people? So that's the priority number one. There's a number of proposals being proposed. I don't agree with all of them. I voiced my opinions pretty publicly on Twitter as well. And so that's one side of it. The bigger picture, I think, surprisingly, crypto has been extremely resilient. We've seen this is bigger than Lehman Brothers. So Lehman Brothers, when they went down, was 60 billion. So now we've seen 80 billion evaporate almost within a week. And guess what? Bitcoin dropped 20%. Bitcoin went from 40K to 30K. The other cryptocurrencies are not dropping that much either. USDT had a little bit of a drop, but then it recovered very quickly. The other cryptocurrencies are generally doing okay. I would have expected much more drops for the other cryptocurrencies. I think this shows the resilience of a decentralized system, where in a centralized system you have multiple banks regulated by a central bank or the same regulators. They typically have the same type of loans, same type of structure. When one bank fails, it has a spillover effect. It needs bailouts. In the crypto space, with no bailout happened in the last week. The other projects just generally doing fine on their own. So that's pretty interesting to see. Shock should be much bigger than the Lehman thing, because Lehman was $60 billion in a couple $100 trillion industry, whereas this is $80 billion, bigger by absolute size already, but in a much smaller, like 2 trillion, 1 trillion, 2 trillion industry. So it's a much bigger event. But in a decentralized world, the other projects are more independent and they're more resilient for whatever reason. Sure, I think stablecoins, the name itself is a misnomer. Nothing's really stable in this world. When we measure stableness, we always use something that's relative. So stablecoin means relative to US dollars or fiat currencies. And the best way to achieve stableness is just hold that currency that you want to peg to. Algo stablecoin is a new invention, and by definition, it will never. So UST was actually over-collateralized with Luna, but Luna itself is a highly volatile asset. So when the price of Luna is high, then that's okay. When the price of Luna drops, then it's no longer collateralized. It's no longer fully collateralized. So when you use a new asset to back that, the risk is much higher. But my point is, nothing is completely stable. If you look at US dollars versus purchasing price, the purchasing power of US dollars have dropped over the last many years and dropped significantly. So nothing's completely stable. Yeah. Sure. So first of all, many people try to classify cryptocurrency into one asset type. That itself is wrong. Many people try to do that with the internet. They will say, hey, in the early days of internet, they say, hey, is internet a radio, a TV, a magazine, or what is it? But there's internet radio, there's internet TV, there's internet magazine, there's social media, there's many other things. So it's a technology platform that have many different types. Crypto blockchain, there's cryptocurrencies, there's crypto commodities, there's crypto probably securities, there's utility coins, there's NFTs, there's fan tokens, there's many other things. So that's kind of the broader categories. And then we have the native cryptocurrencies, and then we have the stable coins, we have so we have many different things. Bitcoin itself, even if we just look at Bitcoin itself, people use Bitcoin for different kind of things. Some people use it as a store of value. Some people do transact with it. Some people do, like I have friends who send me Bitcoin in a transaction, and I do the reverse. So people can transact, especially globally, cross borders. It's actually quite good. Bitcoin is also the grandfather of all cryptocurrencies. And when you learn about cryptocurrencies, you have to learn about Bitcoin. So it's kind of the global reserve currency. So that many people, different people use Bitcoin for different purposes. I would say today is not it's mainly as a entry coin, but also a global reserve for cryptocurrencies. I think today we're just touching the surface for NFTs. We're just at the beginning of the iceberg. Today, most people think of NFTs as it represents a digital art. You can buy it, and there's an auction going on. But guess what? There's many utilities for this technology. We can use NFTs for ticketing. So today, when everybody enters this event, we could have issued an NFT to everybody. It's unique. It's per person. And you can just scan a QR code or NFC to enter the event venue. Afterwards, you can still keep the NFT, you can still trade it, and people can still make new games using those NFTs. Merchandise authentication. Many sports teams sell merchandise. There's many fake ones in many different countries. So NFTs can be used to verify authenticity of merchandise. So I can go on forever. We have very short time here. So there's many use cases of NFTs that has still not been developed yet. So we're just at the beginning. NFTs is only really about a couple of years old. Yeah. Absolutely, I think we can totally still innovate. Well, first of all, on the fundraising part, this is one of the killer apps for crypto, global fundraising. So for entrepreneurs that are in Germany or anywhere in the world, now today you can raise money using blockchain currencies all over the world. And this is much easier than going through VCs, etc. So, for example, Binance raised $15 million, 5 years ago, and then within 6 months, we became the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. And today, we don't have institutional investors, and our decision making is much faster, and we are able to invest hundreds of millions of dollars into other companies today. So I do encourage any entrepreneurs here to seriously consider blockchain fundraising. On the growth of Binance, I think we're just at the beginning of this crypto industry. So there's so many more to do. And also, even when 2 years ago, when BNB was $30, people said, okay, what's there to grow? Today, a year, 2 years later, we've grown another 20x. So I think as long as we continue to let our team, give them freedom for them to do their work, they will continue to innovate. I think there's not that many things that keep me at night. Most things that keep you at night, you can usually address it. We have a large team. If you have those kind of worries, I kind of delegate it. But I think I spend most of my energy on dealing with shaping regulations, talking with regulators, government officials around the different parts of the world. I think that's very important for me to do, for us to do, for this industry. We are under the spotlight. We're under the microscope from every single regulator around the world. The good thing is they're all looking at us, so we have the communication channel to talk to them. So that's what I spend a lot of my time on. From the industry, though, I think regulation is a part of it. It's a very important part. But I encourage all the innovators to continue to build products people use. That's the most important part.